Hi everyone. Today we are going to study on these topics: definition of light and temperature, variation optimal limiting factors, Sheffield law, adaptation of hydrophytes and xerophyte plants. Light. Light is a form of electromagnetic radiation emitted by hot objects like laser, bulbs, and sun. Light is a kind of kinetic energy which enables the human eyes to see or make things visible. Light energy is a form of electromagnetic radiation that can be seen by human eyes. Only light that is observed by a leaf can contribute to photosynthesis. So, light means it is a electromagnetic radiations. If you want to see any objects, then light must be there, and it is the form of the kinetic energy. The plants make use of this light and prepare their food. That process called as the photosynthesis. Temperature. Temperature is one of the most important ecological factors. It regulates many physiological processes of a plant. The metabolical processes are low at certain minimum temperature. The degree of hotness or a coldness of a body or a environment. The degree of hotness or a coldness in given environment usually measured in Fahrenheit, Celsius or a Kelvin. So, temperature means it is a hotness or a coldness of a body or a environment, and it is the one of the most important ecological factors. And this degree of the hotness or coldness is measured in Fahrenheit, Celsius or a Kelvin. For the growth of the plants, a certain temperature is needed. Variation optimal limiting factors. The condition under which particular enzyme is most active and varies are called optimal condition. So, under this, some enzymes are most active and varies are called as the optimal condition. And limiting factor. Photosynthesis is affected by many factors such as light, temperature, and carbon dioxide concentration. But on a warm sunny day, carbon dioxide concentration will be the limiting factor as light and temperature will be at optimal levels. So, for the growth of the plants, these sources are needed in limiting way or a limited conditions. That is called as the limiting factors. Sheffield's law of intolerance. Sheffield's law of tolerance is a principle developed by American zoologist Victor Ernest Sheffield in 1911. Sheffield's law of tolerance states that an organism's success is based on the complex set of conditions and that each organism has a certain minimum, maximum, and optimal environmental factor or a combination of factors that determine success. According to law of tolerance, populations have optimal survival conditions with critical, minimal and maximal thresholds. As population is exposed to the extremes of the particular limiting factor, the rate of survival begins to drop. So, in 1911, this law has developed by the American zoologist Victor Ernest Sheffield, and he said that organism success is based on the complex set of the conditions. So, According to the Schiffel's law of tolerance, there are upper and lower threshold value on gradient beyond which species cannot survive. Tolerance range differ for one species. Here is a graph. You can see and this is the graph of three Schiffel's law of tolerance. The distribution of species in response to the limiting factor can be represented as bell-shaped curve with three distinct regions. Here are the three distinct regions of this graph. First one is the optimal zone, second one is the zone of stress, third one zone of intolerance. First one, center portion of curve which has conditions that favor maximal reproductive success and survivability. Here in optimal zone, the good reproductive success and the organisms are more survived in this zone. Second one, zone of stress. Here the organisms can survive but there is a reproductive success is very less. And next one, zone of intolerance, outermost region in which organisms cannot survive. Here the organisms are not survived in this zone. And next one is the adaptation of hydrophytes and xerophytes plants. So before that, hydrophytic plants means hydro means water. So the plants which grown in water or are called as the hydrophytic plants or a aquatic plant. So water may be fresh or a saline. The plants are grown in this condition. The plants are called as the hydrophytic plants. And here are the some morphological and anatomical features of the hydrophytic plants. So let's see the morphological features of the hydrophytic plants. First one, root may be completely be lacking. Root hair are present or poorly developed. The stem is long, slender, weak, spongy and flexible type in submerged hydrophytes. Leaves may be arranged in alternate phyllotaxy or opposite. Stoma present on the upper epidermis which is in contact with air and gaseous exchange takes place through this stoma and lower surface is in touch with water. The upper leaf surface in floating leaves are coated with wax to prevent the wilting. The entire plant body covered with mucilage. The flowers and seeds are less abundant. Reproduction is mainly by vegetative method. So these are the morphological features of the hydrophyte plants. And next one, anatomical features of the hydrophytic plants. Excessive development of the parenchyma and elaborate system of parenchyma is present in hydrophytes. Poor development of vascular and mechanical tissues. Cuticle absent or poorly developed. Stoma are completely absent in submerged leaves. Chlorophyll is found in all tissues. The reserved food is in the form of starch grains which occurs in cortex or and pith. Cystolith of various shapes are seen in leaves and other tissues. So these are about the morphological and anatomical features of the hydrophytic plants. So here is the example of hydrilla and lotus for the hydrophytic plants. Next one, xerophytic plants. Xerophytic means these plants are grown with a less content of water and these grown in a dry and desert areas, and these are having the special features to grow in the dry areas. So here is the examples. Casuarina and Pinus are the two plants for this xerophytic examples. So morphological adaptation. The root system are well developed with root hair and root caps. Stems are usually stunted, woody, dry, hard, and covered with thick bark. Stem is covered with thick coating of wax and silica or a dense hairs. Stem may be modified into thorns. Lamina may be narrow or a needle-like or divided into many leaflets. Example is pinus. Root to shoot ratio is more than 1. These are the morphological features of the xerophytic plants. Here are the anatomical features of the xerophytic plants. Well developed vascular and mechanical tissue present. Thick cuticle is present in a epidermal layer. Stoma are present. Multi-layered epidermis present. Spongy parenchyma are present. The stoma open during night hours and remain closed during the daytime. Xerophytics have very high osmotic pressure with increase of the turgidity of the cell sap. So this is about the morphological and anatomical features of the xerophytic plants, and here are the two examples for the xerophytic plants, where you can see these plants are grown with the less content of the water, and these are mainly grown in the dry or desert areas. So this is what the today's class. In next class we'll meet with you a different topic, and thank you.